And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be nominal.
RCPA chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, with Planet.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside FT off. Bring in FT off. It's orange!
R45! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
Look at this!
Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
If the methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You good? We don't need any more of these.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another night episode of Watching Starbase live here. As you can see, we have a booster on a transport stand, and apparently a road is being blocked, so that's why I decided to go live as Booster 11, of course the booster that is right now, the booster for the next Starship flight test, is getting ready to roll out. My name is Adrian Bile. I'm your host for today's stream, and with that, it is time to observe this booster, hopefully rolling out in just about 2 minutes from now. And I am not alone tonight here. I am also joined by another European colleague here with Alex. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Yeah, we have another booster rolling out to the launch site, but this is not any particular booster. This is just the next booster, I guess, which is booster 11. Kind of crazy. It's been a while since we've seen this one, so it's great to see it again.
Absolutely. It always feels good if a flight booster is getting rolled out. You know, that means serious business. And of course, also joining us tonight here is Mr. Ryan Weber. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Adrian. You know, we got a booster rolling out right here, and we got right next to it Ship 30, which came back from the launch site, and and behind it we have, even behind Booster 11, sitting in Mega Bay 2, we have Booster 11's other half, Ship 29. Which
is that dust from the mid bay?
That might still be dust from the mid bay. Yes, I'll just say that.
I just saw it right now. I noticed it
because 30 was in the back of the high bay when that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is 29 might even roll out as soon as, I think, tomorrow night. I think it's tomorrow night if I'm remembering my road closures right. There are so many road closures up, it's hard to keep them tracked. Just it's kind of crazy right now. And we might even get a wet dress this week, so fingers crossed.
Absolutely. And behind the scenes, we also have Kevin Michael Reed operating and making sure that at late at night, even now, our cameras look fantastic. And I also think Jay is also behind the scenes helping tonight here. They're like, they usually doing their teamwork thing where they both are around here. So, thanks for both of you. So making sure we are looking sharp and fine here. And with that, let's quickly summarize here, Alex. What is Booster 11 and what's it's doing? Why is it rolling out? What's happening here?
Well, Booster 11 is the first stage of the fourth flight of a Starship. So, yeah, the super heavy booster for the next flight of a Starship, it's about to roll out. We have a road closure from 10 p.m., I believe, to 2 a.m. Ryan, you know more.
This one's just to midnight, and then
to midnight.
And then then we have a midnight to 3 a.m. for Ship 31.
So many road closures,
but we don't. It's just to Massey's, whatever. That's Flight 6. We're worried about Flight 4 right now.
Yeah, there's so many road closures right now that it's just impossible. So this is the first stage, super heavy booster for the next flight of a Starship, Flight 4. And it has already completed its engine static fire test back in April. and we're essentially just, watching to see it go to the launch site to get it prepared for a full stack, potentially, for full stack testing with Ship 29. And we'll have to see what kind of testing they do as well, because there's some closures next week. There's also a marine safety information bulletin, which is usually related with either a wet dress rehearsal or a launch, depending on the shape of that notice. In that case, this notice, it will be for Thursday, and it has the shape of one that is used for a wet dress. So kind of looks like we're gonna get a wet dress rehearsal just next week, so that's gonna be exciting to see as well. A frosty stack back on the launch pad.
There we go. And with that, we are, of course, taking the next hour or so as this booster will start to roll out to answer all of your questions and make sure we are bringing you up to speed about everything you need to know about Booster 11. Of course, we are watching the sheriff's cars at the bottom right now, which are doing a quick switchery around there. But as soon as that's done, we saw the SPMT driver return to the SPMTs that are right now hosting Booster 11, and it looks like this rollout is about to commence. We are just seconds, minutes probably away. I hope at least. I'm maybe heavily jinxing it right now, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's ask some questions, shall we? Vlax here asking Ryan, does the booster have its hot staging ring?
Yeah, Booster 7. Wow. Booster
Wow.
11.
Close.
Wow.
Yeah, well, caught myself right there on that one. Booster 11 has been crowned. It does have a hot stage ring, as we can see right here. There was something interesting. It looks like it has a new camera on it, on the hot stage ring, so I hope we get views of that. But yeah, it does have its hot stage ring. Ready to go.
There we go. Some nice hot staging action going on here as they are getting ready to fight it. And of course, Alex, the one and big questions here that people are asking is this the final rollout? Will this be the final time Booster 11 rolls out?
That is a great question. I think everybody here is sort of wondering that. It kind of looks ready, right? But, looking ready and actually being ready are two different things. And so we'll have to wait and see. It's, it's not unheard of to see these boosters and ships and every sort of vehicle that rolls out to the launch site. When we think it's going to be for the last time, well, sometimes it turns out it is not for the last time. An example is Booster 10, for example. It went out for full stack testing, and well, they tried to do a wet dress rehearsal. And by the way, it's now Booster 11, it's on the move, so it's about to enter the road. But yeah, as I was saying, Booster 10, it tried twice to do a wet dress rehearsal with Ship 28, and they didn't get that right. They tried it twice. They were not able to get through the whole propellant load sequence, and so it was sent back to the production site. We don't know for what kind of work, but it was for a week and a half or so, and then it went back again out to the launch site, and then was able to complete the wet dress rehearsal and everything. So you never know when these things roll out whether it's going to be the last time. So that's a good question. We think it's going to be the last, but you never know.
Absolutely, and mark your timings here. 10:04:45 is first movement. So we are already 1 minute into this rollout now. And we have seen them in the past, like around the, like, I know Ryan, you're tracking this, but like it's around like 40 to 60 minutes.
Yeah, they've been able to get it in around, it's around like 45, 50 minutes with boosters and ships now. They've gotten a lot more confident in them and how stable they are, and they've been a lot quicker. I remember back in the day when it used to take them an hour and a half, 2 hours to do a rollout because they weren't that confident in everything that they had. And well, the transport stands back in the day were really janky, but that was the allure of Starbase at the time, jank level to 11.
Absolutely. And here we can see a booster rolling out. And right now it's a great opportunity to look at it a bit. So before we dive back into questions, I want to take this moment here to look at what we can see. Of course, spotting a Raptor with this stand is a bit harder, but they are most likely, because it was already fired, 33 Raptor engines below this booster. So
Yeah.
just a point. It's probably in their safety booties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we even on ship 30, that's still sitting there in that picture there. They've even started putting Raptor covers, booties, whatever you want to call them, on the ship engines now. So it's kind of a standard practice now to actually cover the engines like just about everyone else does when they roll them around. They're trying to get them a lot more reliable, a lot less FOD or anything inside them. So yeah.
I always love this with the wheels. I love to see the SPMT wheels here. Looks like this machine crawler. And now we will see them stopping.
Stop
Yep.
and going the other way.
And
full
A
power.
lot of people get confused when this happens, but this is totally normal.
Yeah, they
And off we go.
They do like a 3-point maneuver. But other people use the parking.
They used to do it in just one go, but I think nowadays they don't have the space to do that turn because they've built things, namely the Star Factory.
I think they could do that turn, but it's a lot easier to back it out in a whole thing and then do the 3-point. It's a lot easier to do than just doing a straight turn all at once.
There was a Raptor, by the way.
Ooh. A wrapped raptor?
Yeah, there are the Raptors. You can see them there in the stand. This stand is so beefy.
I want them to build something like this for... Oops.
You saw that.
Yeah. That looks like me on American Truck Simulator.
Yeah, that was certainly Alex on American Truck Simulator. That 30 miles per hour sign just got a bit of a nice greeting from the booster.
Boop.
Whoopsie.
But what I was gonna say is they haven't built a nice, like, beefy, newer stand for the ships, and I mean, in a lot of ways they don't need to, at least in terms of how the ship connects to the stand. They really needed to do it for booster because they had to manually close all 20 of the clamps and stuff like that, and now it's all automatic. But like with ship, it just uses the 6 hookup clamps that's used for even just stage connection. The biggest issue with the ship stands is they still have to chain them down. And I would hope they would come up with something where they can just bolt it in. So yeah, I would wish.
Well, hang on, give me a minute because I have some news.
What?
Oh.
Really?
Well,
news?
yeah, the Cameron County has just released a new road closure for Monday. It is already scheduled on the website, and it is a test closure from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday, May 13th.
So that
the MSIP is not yet for Monday, right? The MSIP starts on
That's for Thursday.
That's on Thursday. Yeah,
that's Thursday.
So
what is
that? What's happening on Monday?
It'd be a
they also have another one for Tuesday. So the Tuesday
and for
closure.
Wednesday.
For Wednesday, it's not scheduled though. That's the thing. It's the difference between actually being scheduled on the website because it says closure schedule and then possible closure. So when they say closure schedule, is that they are absolutely sure they're going to be testing something now. Sometimes they are actually not ready to go and they don't test, even though it says closure schedule. But normally, most of the time when they do that, that's what it means. So they're doing some testing on Monday and maybe on Tuesday as well, because those 2 are now saying closure scheduled.
So Well, why don't we just do this when everyone's here and we're already talking about it? We can run through all the closures we have, just if
boy.
people want us to.
Oh god,
do we want to do this?
So let's do it. I will give you the closure. So the first one we have is, let's see, which date do we even have today? We have this 11th, right?
Yeah, this one.
So right now this is the May 10th closure from 10 to 12 p.m., right?
10 p.m.
Which
to
is for
12 a.m.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then we have another closure starting midnight tonight to 3 a.m., which is most likely a ship rollout to Massey's, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we have a closure tomorrow from midnight to 3 a.m., which goes to the launch site, correct?
Yep. So probably 29.
Yeah.
So probably 29. And it's 3 hours long, so probably lift. Like,
Yeah, it could be a lift in there. Yeah, they could do.
yeah.
Yep.
And then we have a closure scheduled for Monday, 8 to 8.
Yep.
Which,
Testing.
like, partial load?
Maybe partial load.
Cryo tests?
It'll be it'll be interesting to see what they do because they're now running entirely on the horizontal tanks. So I'm kind of curious as what kind of testing they're going to do now. With everything.
They may do so. Now that you said that, they may do some kind of ground testing first, meaning tank farm testing rather, with a booster on the pad, maybe. Or something,
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, it feels weird to me, because I thought for one moment that Tuesday might have been some kind of partial load of the full stack with a wet dress on Thursday, but this closure on Monday, it's like, what are they doing? Are they doing other kind of testing that is not that, like, what are they doing? Maybe full stack, full load, but with nitrogen or something? I don't
They
know.
could.
It's weird.
You could see the
it is
nitrogen logs
weird.
combo again, we've seen before, where they replace the methane with nitrogen.
I wouldn't put it past them to do it.
That way they will test both tank farms.
Yeah.
Well, tank farms, you know what I mean, right? All of the tanks that they have added are nitrogen and oxygen. So if they test the full stack loading nitrogen and oxygen, then they will obviously be able to test all of that new systems. So that's interesting. I'm really wondering now what they're going to be doing. We're definitely
Here's what they
on the
maybe
lookout.
do. Here's what they maybe do. A cryo or partial cryo on Monday. Then they do a tanking. So a cryo as in they're using LN2 and LOX. Then a tanking test, meaning they're using methane on Tuesday. And then they replenish everything and go for the wet dress on Thursday. Because they have the safety notice for Thursday. Not saying that they can't put it out for other days, but right now it's only on Thursday. So
Yep.
maybe they do something like that.
And then we have another closure on Monday from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. 4 hours.
And this is a fun one.
That's for the tower section.
Yeah. From the port to Sanchez. And there's 3 of those every other day. There's the 13th, the 15th, and the 17th. So my guess is that since they didn't do 5, since there's 5 sections over there, my guess is they're going to do 2, 2, and then 1. And then all 5 sections that are at the port will be at Sanchez. And then they just have to get sections 4 and 5 from Roberts Road over here. And then they'll have the full tower over here. Well, plus the QD arm and chopsticks, but...
Yep, and then this pattern kind of repeats, because then you have a Tuesday closure, then you have a Wednesday closure, then you have your Wednesday transport, then you have a Thursday closure, and you have a Friday transport.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the action plan right now. So, in case you ever wanted to have some action at Starbase, and you want also us to stream more, good news! I have very good news for you. This is gonna be an exciting 7 days. I can promise you that, because this is gonna be quite a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and on top of that, you know, the fun thing on top of that is goodbye Pad B, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
suborbital tank farm is already going.
It's kind of crazy what they're all doing here.
They didn't
I wonder
even.
what they're going to be doing with those tanks and all that hardware from the
I'm-
suborbital pad.
I say they save the tanks, but they steamroll everything else.
Steamroll.
or they just destroy the rest. And then break it all up. I'll break all the concrete up and everything, and yeah.
Yep. Let me thank some people here because we are getting some late night support here from people who are as daring as we are here watching still at night at 10 p.m. or whatever the time zone of their local time is, because I can tell you it's not 10 p.m. here. I can see the sun. And it's quite a lot of sun.
Some other people can see the rage of the sun because, you know, there's been this whole aurora thing. Sun is angry. As Jack
Yeah, let's not
said
talk. Can we
today.
not talk about the aurora? I'm frustrated. Couldn't
Hey,
see
I cannot
it.
see it either. The only thing that I've seen is just that light pollution somehow looks weirder. Instead of orange, it looks green. That's the only thing.
You're probably gonna have another chance at that, Adrian, because the NOAA issued another alert of a severe geomagnetic storm process, a G5.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. Apparently the sun decided to send 7 coronal mass ejections our way. I don't know. Apparently the sun doesn't like us anymore.
Yeah, apparently. It's going.
Yeah.
It's just a phase, though.
Jack is
It will,
yelling Jack is yelling at me on the back channel saying it's Angie sun, not angry. There you go.
I was also not aware of that Oxford definition of angry. Anyway, let's thank some people here. Starting with Ryan with a $4.99 superset, asking when patch. We hope to have the patch ready by full stack. There's still some minor things on the road that we have to solve before getting the patch ready, but it's on the finishing line, and we hope to have patch and apparel for the fourth flight ready by full stack. If not full stack, it will be like probably the test after that, but we will keep you updated. Connor G with a $5 super chat saying, "Good to see the Northern Lights tonight in Rochester. It was truly amazing to see in person." I'm glad you enjoyed it. After the Flame Trench, I went out, drove all the way north as I could to a lightly light polluted area, and I could only see a black sky. So, whip.
Well, they got a solar eclipse just a month ago, so that's a bit cheating, I guess.
Yeah, like Rochester gets all the fun.
Yeah, we're there. Well, I mean, NSF.
Yeah, we as in NSF, the collective.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause I was not there, and I'm so jealous.
Oh, to be fair, Jay's also pointing out they didn't see anything. It was Rochester. They are clouds.
Okay, but they still experience an eclipse. Like, come on, it was still cool.
Yep,
We got
that's
that
true.
live on our live stream.
Whoops, that was the I closed the call. Did the booster stop moving here?
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah.
It's just a little bit stop. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah, it's like right in front of the office building right now, right?
Maybe they're changing something.
Moving again. It's moving again.
there you
And
go.
we're back.
No rollback. Please roll out.
We're
Roll out.
we're so done to we're so back, you know?
Yeah, look at the tanker at the top. They're probably moving a tanker away and be like, kind of
Yeah.
bad timing to go down Highway 4.
Chris
More
be in the
road
back
touchers.
channel.
Oh no, Chris.
Chris be in the back channel. SPMT breakdown 18-hour stream. Let's go. Let's do it.
No, I can't.
Okay. So you remember when you said they may transport the towers in this manner? There's been another 2 road closures for transporting the tower sections. One on May 19th and another one for May 20th.
SpaceX, come on! What are you doing?
So we have even more road closures.
So it's
I
one
wanna
tower
congrat-
section per.
This is like
per
breaking
closure.
news right now. So that's
First off,
5 road closures for transporting the tower sections, so probably one at a time.
Yeah, it's stop and going right now. I'm not worried about it stopping from time to time. There's traffic there. They're just moving around.
It's taking a break. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just too late
first-
for the booster to move, so it's
Yeah,
taking a break.
And no, Crispy, Eurovision is not cancelled. It's happening all tomorrow. It's all good. And I lost my thought. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I wanted to congratulate Ryan Caton for making probably the most insane road closure graphic ever for this week's Starbase update.
That's gonna
man.
be so fun.
Oh, there's so many closures.
Yeah, congratulations, Ryan. So there you go. That's what I wanted to say. Coco Cat's gifting 1 Red Team membership. Thank you so much for that. And also we have Revet also giving a Red Team membership, and Eternal Swordsman with a $5 super chat saying Raptors are on the bottom of the rocket. They make the rocket go and wear booties. Raptors are feet. I have no logical way to say no to this, but I still want to say no to this. So I will just do that and say no. Still thank you. There you go. Let's see. Is it moving again, or is it still waiting on that tanker to turn around?
It's stopped right now.
Somebody's saying there's blue and red on the horizon. There's an aurora. That's not the aurora. That's the sheriff.
Yeah. You know, to think about it, there is a closure for the next 10 days straight. One a day for the next 10 days.
I wish the NSF team a very happy let's stream every day.
Cause yeah. Yeah.
5 tower rolls. There's probably gonna be a lift booster 11. There's probably gonna be a ship 29 roll. I mean, there's gonna be a ship 29 rollout. Let's be honest. There's gonna be also full stack, more full stack testing, tower rollouts. Boy, it's gonna be so fun. And also Starlink on Sunday, and probably next week we're gonna have more Starlinks because of course.
Here's my question though to Jack in the back channel.
And
Is
Starliner. True.
And Starliner on Friday. Yep. And Starlinks and everything else.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a great day, great time for planning, Adrian. Let's do this.
Yeah, expect a few pings tomorrow morning.
Just a few pings.
Jack, how's it gonna be? Because you're gonna have to do testing stuff during the day, and then you're also going to be doing like tower rolls during the night. Man, I wonder when you're. I guess Jack will have to sleep. Jack and Sean will have to sleep during the testing. It's about all they're gonna get.
And let's boost the move, please.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. We can't tell.
It's I think still slowly moving.
There are still vehicles going up and down the road. I saw earlier on another shot. Another vehicle. See, and there's still police.
It's not near San Martin. I'm trying to tell exactly where it is.
It's in front of the office building.
I think it's already past San Martin Boulevard.
Yeah, I think it's slightly past San Martin. It might have pulled. There's open area there. It might have pulled off to allow some stuff through. I don't know though.
Yeah, they're probably waiting for something to clear road ahead.
Oh, there's vehicles going up the road, so those might be coming from the village. Is this a tanker from before? Yeah, this might be the tanker from before, right? Or what is it? Yeah, look at that.
I'll add this too. This is just adds to the insanity of it. In our Discord, we have a Nightbot command which can pop all the closures in. The Nightbot response must be less than 400 characters. There's too many closures for the Nightbot to handle.
Wow. Can they not get stuck with this booster on the road tonight?
Seems like vehicles are still moving, which is probably bad planning.
Oh, it's doing it in string too. The response must be less than 400 characters. I don't know what they did with it.
It's interesting.
Yeah, we've seen that tanker that went around. It went into the village through LBJ, right? Lyndon B. Johnson Boulevard, and then it probably went all the way around. And since the booster now is past St. Martin, we need a map. Where's Ryan for this? So now that it went all the way around and went through St. Martin Boulevard. That's what I think would happen. Maybe they're waiting on more stuff to go up.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I've never seen this, not with a booster. And we can't tell if something would happen, so unfortunately.
Someone said solar flare fried the SPMT. That would be the most hilarious way of breaking down the SPMT.
Yeah, it's not moving at all anymore. It's just standing there. It pulled over for the night. This is its breaking point.
All right. The booster
There's
got
the
tired.
30 miles per hour inside. It just ran over. Yeah,
You remember that rollback? I don't remember. I think it was 10? And it was 10 rolling back after its static fire. Where
with a car.
Yeah, it got
side,
so
right?
close to go those cars. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, I remember
That was kind of crazy. Yeah. They've since basically said, please don't park on that side of Highway 4 anymore.
That's honestly, like, there's so many funny rollout stories, and then there are very non-funny rollout stories, like sitting here for hours and staring at a broken down SPMT. Please don't let this be a broken down SPMT. That would be really suboptimal.
It's really suboptimal. It's a good way to put it.
I see lights going out at the production site, but not at the booster, of course. Yeah, it's just sitting there. Let's see. Let's answer some more questions while it's not moving. What happened to the claw that was under the ship QD arm, Alex?
Wow, that's Ooh, it's running back. Have you seen that?
Oh, it is.
It moved back for whatever
Going
reason.
back.
So playing backing up noises like beep beep.
Huh.
Well, what's going on
And it
here?
stopped. It stopped again.
Where you going, Mr. 11? And now
And it's going forward
going
again.
out again?
Maybe they just had to
crap,
reposition
still
real
needs
quick.
to go back.
Maybe they pulled off slightly to let a bunch of things pass, and then they had to back up and then line back up with the highway.
This is so far a very confusing rollout.
It's SpaceX. What do you expect? You know, they all SpaceX always loves to throw curveballs at everyone.
Yeah, but like, but I feel like your theory is right. Like they pulled over and they just had to reverse to get out there. So yeah, it's probably that. And now we are rolling again, and we are approaching the roadblock. And also, just to clear this up, the reflection also is not the Aurora, that's also the Sheriff. So, what happened to the claw at DQD, Alex?
Well, it turns out the best part is no part, and yeah, they deleted it from the QD arm. That was a long time ago. That's actually from 2 years ago, because they really only used it once. Because they had it out for the first full stack with the chopsticks, right? That was in February 2022 for the presentation that they did with Booster 4 and Ship 20 out there. And then they destacked, removed the claw from the QD arm, and about a month later, they restacked again, and they did a couple of full stack tests. Nothing too big, to be fair. You know, especially if you compare that to what they can do now, it was nothing at all. It was, just a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
exactly. And so, but that's all they did. They essentially just removed it after the first use. It was already not useful after that. And also it was a lot more complex, and it seemed like it needed a lot of work to be able to fit. At least from what I remember. I know that it took a while to get the claw to attach to the booster lifting points and all of that. It didn't seem like an easy solution for something that they could just do with the chopsticks, to be fair. That's what they do now.
Yep. It's probably the prime definition of the best part is no part. Ryan, are there any new changes that we can see on Booster 11?
If we're talking since it last went out, as far as I know, they didn't really do any changes to it.
I think in comparison to previous vehicles is the question.
Okay, if it's comparison to previous vehicles, if you compare it to 10, it's got more stringers in the methane tank, more vertical stringers. Trying to think off the top of my head here. There isn't a whole lot. I'm going to start forgetting some. But boosters haven't changed much. The biggest change in booster really is 13 with the new valve design on the LOX tank valves. That's about it. At 12 is nearly identical to this one too. So they've kind of got the booster nailed down. They're still trying to figure out ship. That's why ship keeps changing a little bit, and that's why they're going in a new revision of ship, is because they've come to the point where they need to get more out of it. And they're at the point where they want to try to get a more operational like ship rather than a prototype. I don't know when booster's going to get there either. It's going to be a while.
Certainly. Einstein's Apple's asking, can you comment on your best guess if the launch will be in May? And I know this is a question that especially Alex will love, so I will let you start first.
Oh, dear Lord. Are you doing the same as Jack with this?
Yes. We are basically
there's
giving you the hard questions.
Well, hard questions, what they get. They get long answers from me. But no, I'm gonna try and be short with this one. My only thing with this is that there's a chance it still happens in May. We just don't know what else there's to be done, because they're doing this rollout. They're probably gonna be rolling out Ship 29 tomorrow, do full stack testing next week and all that. The tower sections are gonna be rolling and whatnot. But we don't know what else is there to be done, because especially Ship 29, it seems like The heat shield needs a little bit more work. If I believe Chris has already uploaded some of the pictures from Mary of Ship 29, and you can see on some of those pictures that some of the tiles are still missing, or they are still broken, or even with marks saying that they are not okay, so they probably need change. And so it seems like the vehicles might be ready enough to do a wet dress rehearsal and full stack testing and whatnot, but at least the ship might need a few more weeks. So, the chances of it getting off in May are getting smaller and smaller by the day. That's sort of my summary of my whole thing here.
I agree. Like it felt like if we were where we are right now a week ago, May would certainly be possible. But at this point, it's like every day they're losing right now without any regulatory update. I don't know. It doesn't feel like May might be happening. It will be like around late May, early June probably. But I right now feel like June is the front runner. Ryan, what's your take on this?
Yeah, looking at 29's heat shield, it really does look like they've got more work to do on it. I don't know how much work. It is the inherent issue right now with version 1. Same thing is going to happen to Ship 30. Spoiler alert. They're going to tear that heat shield apart just as much as 29's. But I don't think it goes in May. I think it's June, maybe early June. And depending on how long that heat shield takes, because SpaceX wants this thing to make it through. If they make it through re-entry and get a splashdown in the ocean, and booster does a partial virtual catch. Say it's not accurate, but it does a partial. They won't need a mishap investigation, assuming that goes right.
Assuming.
Yeah, and if they can pull that off, then SpaceX, all they need is another license. Or a license modification, unless they get one for 2 flights. Which means they can go straight to Flight 5, and then all they gotta do is get the vehicles ready and go. So...
You can hear the SPMTs.
Oh, sure. That's the sound of moving Starship. Oh, booster.
Sounds what you will think a UFO will sound like, right? It's like...
Yes. To be fair, it sounds pretty lame if you're like, I have a rocket and you're not flight in, you have a data plan sported on the SPMT. Like, I feel like that's a lame introduction into other alien ships. But here it is, passing our highway side. That's closest
Hi,
approach.
Mr. 11.
Hello.
Bye. Everyone, wave at it. Come on.
Because it will now speed up and make its way on to the launch site.
Bye.
There it goes. It's a nice sound. Honestly, it's a nice sound.
SPMT ASMR.
Yep. There we go. That's not Raptor numbers, by the way. That's on the stand. That are like stand orientation numbers.
That's just clamp numbers. Yeah. You can even see on the stand they'll have Y and Z should be, or X and Z. Basically the axis of the vehicle. Like, yeah. So I don't know if we can see it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the
there
plus C side. Yeah.
There it is, plus C side.
The QD, where the QD is the plus C side. Yeah.
Yep. Or
the
Z.
left, yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then to the left, so on the left-hand side here from the booster, it will be the plus Y side, and then up is the plus X, so that will be the whole coordinate system.
That's like they the SpaceX often refers directly to coordinate systems for everything on their rockets, right?
Yeah, on Falcon 9 it's very similar. It's also the same. You have X, Y, and Z, and X is, going from the bottom of the rocket all the way to the top. Z on Falcon 9 is away from the transport director, and plus Y is so essentially to the right from the transport director point of view, so to speak. But yeah.
There we go. You never learn. You never know. Sorry, you never learn. That's a weird saying.
It's like aircraft. Aircraft has station numbers, your water level numbers, whether it's station front to back, side to side, station number across a horizontal stab or something like that. That's a lot where a lot of things are labeled as. You can just literally pull it up and it gives you the location of exactly where it is. You gotta find it on the plane. Sometimes it gets a little hard to do it, but yeah. Coordinate systems are easy and fun.
Right-hand rule.
Let's.
Flight attendant left is airplane right. Fun.
Huh.
It's a joke, but yeah.
Ryan, Adam is asking, do you think SpaceX will create a carbon copy of the orbital launch site or build an upgraded one on the suborbital area?
Vastly upgraded. The leg and ring design.
Uh-oh. That stopped again. In the middle of the road.
Just as you said in the back channel. Come on, SpaceX.
Oh no, why are they looking? No.
You jinxed it. Because you said, come on, SpaceX, speed up.
No, why are they inspecting the SP? No.
Oh, one of those tires is you see that? That's a little wonky.
The moment that he pointed at it, I was like, wait, what? Oh, like, it's like, what's going on? Why is he pointing to that? And then, wow. Ooh. That's not good.
Oh no.
I think that tire's coming off the rim. Is that I don't want to say that because I don't want to be wrong, but it doesn't look good.
They're inspecting more tires?
I think they're making sure everything else is good to go. But to answer the question while we wait and watch here, I think, especially with them getting rid of the legs at the 39A, I honestly think they're going to go away from the ring and leg design. It's worked for prototype flights, but I think they've realized they need something with like a water-cooled deck, and other stuff, possibly even a deflector. Because having it all go out in all directions really does not help for the longevity of your launch site. It doesn't. So they probably want to direct it somewhere else. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what SpaceX comes up with. But it definitely won't be a carbon copy.
Well, this is a great location for a booster to stop.
Yeah, I think chat
I'm
today
sure the people that need to use this road are super happy right now.
Yeah, I think chat today we're gonna learn how to change a tire on an SPMT.
With a 250 ton some odd booster on top and like probably 100-ton transport.
Oh, another tanker. Look at that. Is that another liquid oxygen tanker?
That might be another.
Man, there's been so many.
Yeah, I have bad news for that guy.
Tank farm.
Well, Alex, they dumped so much when they tested that system like this last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy is gonna run out of oxygen if he has to wait for this tire to be changed. If they are changing it.
It doesn't seem like they're even in a hurry right now to fix anything. It seems like a bit of a wait situation.
So, if I remember correctly with SPMTs, the funny thing is for 16-axle SPMTs, this booster and everything, like, this is overkill. The only reason why they have 16-axle ones is because of it allows them the room, but the sheer amount of weight that these SPMTs can take is overkill for this. So what they might be able to do, and I know they can separately bring up certain axles, so they might be able to bring the axle up off the ground and swap the tire out, or swap the wheel out. That might just be that quick, but.
And for the people who are not aware of what we are saying here, you can see one of the tires. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tire from the front, which is a bit borked.
Yeah, little wonky.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
Or they make the thing of where they bring that axle up and they just continue. They might be able to do that as well because of how much these SPMTs can take. So I mean, we're just gonna have to see.
Interesting. Well, at least this rollout now got a different kind of spice.
Goes in, grabs a
I'm
drink.
not sure if. Yeah, I'm
They
not sure if
took
I
out the
wanted
drinks.
that
These
spice.
people, yeah, they're preparing for a long night.
Yeah, they're like Like this is gonna be interesting. So far, nobody has even attempted to improve the situation.
I mean, let's be honest here. It's maintenance on a vehicle that is holding what, 400 tons of steel. I mean, I'm not just gonna rush in and do something. I wouldn't.
I mean, I see a can.
Is that a toolbox?
Maybe a toolbox with a light.
Yeah.
Yep, we are
no,
approaching
that's,
tire.
No, that's their controller.
Oh, the controller.
That's the SPMT controller.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he's looking at which axle it is, and then it looks like he's gonna pull it up and maybe bring the axle up.
Should look in the manual though.
I think they'll raise that single axle.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, see, look, it's so cool what they can do with these SPMTs. They can turn single axles if they want to.
We need a video about this, about moving rockets.
This is cool to see.
How
It would be
SPMTs
cool.
work.
And pulling on a tire.
Yeah, because my guess is these are hard rubber. I don't know if these have air in them or not.
That's an
Actually-
interesting question that I don't have a smart answer to.
Let me look.
Please, yes, no, yes. That's perfect. That works. Always making sure that they're understanding where they can park and where they cannot park. Oh, more cars on the way.
Road assistance.
Yep.
Hello, this is SpaceX Road Assistance. How may I help you today?
Yeah,
My
I'm
booster
stuck
got
on
stuck
Highway
in,
4
Highway
with
4.
Booster 11. Oh boy. We kind of joked about this, and I feel like we deserve it.
You jinxed it.
We gotta pass the time. It's almost 6 a.m. here for us, Adrian.
Past the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Oh. Is that-
Oh, come on.
No.
We wanted to see it. Dude, why'd you
I-
have to back up that little bit? Like, why?
I bet they did that on purpose.
They probably did it on purpose. That's rude.
Wait, Kevin, move some other cameras so we can see that again.
We can always deploy Sean and Jack, right?
Oh,
right.
the light truck arrived.
They're gonna be pointing at us. That light, probably.
Oh, yeah, pointed directly at us. I think he's going
Yeah.
around to the other side and he's going to point the light at the axle. Or at least attempt to.
Yeah, this is interesting. Like, we have not seen this like this before. So another question, of course, remains: how long does it take to change such a tire?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
They can self-jack it because of the way the actuator works on their axles. Depending on how hard the nuts are or what they have to do, I don't know. It takes me and 2 other people who really know what they're doing. We can change a main landing gear tire on a 3.7 in about 10-15 minutes. Not even. So, I wonder how long it takes them to do that. And we have to separately jack it.
I wish I could move that car over to the left again.
Right?
That's all I want. Let me thank some more people here, as we are standing by here for a tire being placed, changed on Booster 11. And after that, I will quickly summarize what we have seen and where we are. Let me thank your IT remote with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much. We have Tom with becoming a Red Team member. Thank you so much. And we have Flippers with a Red Team membership gifted. Thank you so much as well. And then we have Daniel Hogbin gifting 10 Red Team memberships. I hope everybody got that said thank you. It's always important to thank people when they are gifting you something. And Musical Wolf with the super chat saying, can the tires self-inflate? Again, we are not like, it's a matter of, do they even need to be inflated?
I'm trying to find out.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Looks like they're changing it. Look at that guy. It's like, yeah, it kind of looks like they're removing it, maybe.
This is a good sign. I like that. I hear the.
We having backing up noises, really?
Oh yeah,
from
there on the right side. The tanker.
The tank is backing up.
I mean, better that than sitting there for a longer period of time, right?
I bet they're like, well, by the time this thing just finishes, this auction is gonna be all vented out, so why bother?
Yeah, just go back. It's like you're basically almost there at the production side. This is lovely with the sound and everything. The perfect ambience doesn't exist. But looks like they're making progress with that tire. Which is good. We want to hear that. So let's hope they can resolve this relatively fast. Let's ask me some more question here. Alex, when
Why is
re-entry
it
for
moving
booster.
forward again? Oh, it's doing a U-turn. Okay.
Alex, when re-entry for booster, how are the engines gonna relight?
How are the engines gonna relight?
Yeah, how do engines relight in flight?
I think we're even hearing the moves from these guys. But yeah, anyways, it's a very complicated thing to do because first you need the propellants to be in the right location for side by side. I love that transition. Yeah, you need the propellants to go onto the inlets to the engines. Obviously, they need to go to the engines and not have any gas or anything like it. Because if the engine ingests any sort of gas, then well, you're having a bad time relighting those engines. Which, to be fair, it's most of the times when we've seen Starship failing a relight of the engines, it's most of the times being down to pressures not being correct and gases just entering the engine and destroying the engine. So yeah, that's an important thing. Not only they need to go to the right location, they need to go to the inlets, but they also need to be at the pressure that they need to be able to go into the engines. So that's one thing. And so one of the ways that you can do that is depending on your orientation, especially for the landing. The main problem for the landing is that they are probably already down on your tank. But if the vehicle is vibrating and just it's going through the atmosphere already at that point, it is essentially going through a lot of turbulence, and so it's going to be shaking and vibrating and whatnot. The problem there is your propellant fluid, the level is so low that you have the risk of essentially that level being so low that it doesn't cover your inlets to the engines, especially if you have like a big dome at the base, it doesn't cover the inlets. And so, because it just, it bounces off, it slushes around and whatnot, and so it doesn't cover the inlets. That's one of the big problems. The one way to solve that is to create a big holding tank, like a landing tank that just holds that propellant, and then expands at the end to be able to provide essentially that sort of propellant. So that's what both Falcon 9 and Super Heavy have for the landing burn. So in the case of Super Heavy, it's like a cylindrical tank that surrounds the methane transfer tube that runs through the middle of the liquid oxygen tank. So that tank that surrounds that transfer tube holds that liquid oxygen that is needed for the landing burn. Now, you can still have a problem with that if, say, things are breaking up or you have a lot more problems. So perhaps Booster 10 had some of those problems when it tried to relight for the landing. In the case of a Starship, for example, the ship, it has its own header tanks as well, both for the methane and the liquid oxygen. Not only because it's so how to say this, it's horizontal at the time of the landing burn. It's not just not vertical, it's literally not horizontal. You really need a landing tank that is able to feed the engines in that orientation. So that's why you have that header tank. And actually the pipes that lead to the engines, they're coming out from these landing tanks towards the belly, because that the ship, when it relights for the engine burn, it's going to be belly down. So the whole propellant level is going to be settled onto your feed pipe at the belly side of way that you can improve that. And I think my internet just dropped for like a few seconds.
Internet dropped for like a second.
It always happens at 6 a.m. I don't know why. I should call the internet company. But yeah, that's all that I really needed to say, essentially. There's a lot more, but we could probably make a whole video out of it. Kevin?
From what I can find...
Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay, there you can have your conventional air tires. Looks like you can and you can have polyurethane filled tires. The polyurethane filled tires allows for more what's the weight per axle is what it looks like. But the thing with conventional tires or pneumatic tires, as you want to call them, air filled ones, they can be they can probably have a little bit better grip and stuff like that because they're actually flexible. So my guess is they're the air ones. So, but That's all I could find. I don't really know what they have. I don't know what SpaceX ordered.
I see at least some movement again there. There's the controller. And there is that's yeah, so far we have not seen any movement of the SPMT. Just to recap, we saw the beginning of the rollout of Booster 11, which is planned for the 4th flight of Starship, which was on the way to the launch site. And then the SPMT had a flat tire. That's like a broken tire, whatever.
And then another 10
one
minutes
tire,
of me landing burns.
Yeah, one tire not good.
I'm not joking. We should probably make a video out of that.
Yeah, possibly.
Kevin, prepare the notion for that.
When will the script be ready?
Oh my god.
Good question.
That's a good question here. Well, let's see here. Still inspecting that side, but I don't see them actively anymore working on a tire, so we might see some tire moving again soon.
Maybe.
If we are lucky. I'll see here. Let me find some more questions. Why can't they just lift the tire up like they do sometimes with tires they don't need to use and keep rolling? That's what we are like it really depends on the weight and the how much of the limit they're using, right? Ryan?
As far as I know. I mean, I'm not an SPMT expert. It's just I know that they can lift those axles up on their own. My guess is they just want it working, and they don't really want a tire flapping around or just one axle up. So they're fixing it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. What was the issue last time with the ship rollout when the SPMT broke down? Do we know that, Alex?
Power pack died.
Oh, true. We saw the power pack replacement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was with ship 25, right?
Yeah. That was 25's
Yeah, I think so.
That was the 25's rollout on... That would have been the last rollout, so it would have been September 4th. Yeah. It's the last rollout to the launch site.
Oh.
Hey, there it goes.
I hear.
Let's go.
SPMT sounds.
See, quick change. Only that took what, 15 minutes?
I'm happy.
Definitely quicker than a lot of tire changes that I've seen. So.
Yeah, I couldn't change a tire that quickly. I can tell you that.
Well, they're trained to do it, so that's why they're
That's
there.
true. So we are rolling again on the way to the launch pad, which is good.
That's why they get paid the big bucks. So
yeah, I love how this was like only a minor setback. They're like, oh, whatever, gotta fix it. Let's hope the other tires are performing. Yeah, we are basically back on the so back graph for the people keeping track on the we are so back. We are it's over. We are so back graph. We are right now. We are very back.
You know, and speaking of 11's other half, now that it's rolling again, they're doing. I think they're messing with some tiles on 29 over on our production site camp.
Nice.
Yeah, they're
Hello.
messing with it again.
That's yes, that looks certainly like some work. The tire change was faster than the tire shop changing my tire. True. At the end of, let me see some more. Let me read the questions first before I ask them.
Good idea.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to really do that.
Oh yeah, they lifted the tire. Look at that. You can see it on the right there.
Oh yeah, they're rolling without that tire now.
Oh, they just lifted the axle out of the way. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's a solution. I was wondering whether or not they would do it or they would replace it, and they just lifted it out of the way. They'll fix it at the launch. They'll fix it at launch site, or they'll roll it back and fix it. One of the two.
See, you cannot do that with your car. You really need to change the tire when it happens.
Yeah, you can't really lift the axle on your car.
I wonder if
should
they
be
have
easy to
less
fix.
traction on that side of the SPMT. Like, that SPMT, I guess it has less traction because it has...
I mean,
Um,
it now has 15 axles instead of 16 on the ground.
yeah, but the other one still has all 16, right? So it probably has a bit less traction. I don't know.
I mean, in theory.
I'm supposed to know about this. I did physics, but yeah,
Well, here's the other thing too: is
cars
they
were not
can,
my specialty.
the SPMTs are also designed to work in concert with one another. And not only that, I don't know if the entire axle is lifted or it's just that tire and the other tire is still on the ground.
Yeah,
There's
that
too. I
could
think they
also
may
be
have
the
just lifted
case.
the whole thing. But the thing is, they're designed to work in concert with one another. I think, as far as I understand, so they're able to figure stuff out, and again, I'm not an expert on SPMTs, so it's only from what I've read with them. So this is educated guesses, I guess, more than anything.
Semi-educated guesses.
Semi-educated guesses. We'll go with that.
What was the longest an SPMT malfunction held up a transport? That has to be that one cursed transport, right?
All right, let me go find it.
Yeah, I think the Ship 25 one was the longest. It was so long that I went to sleep, so imagine how long it was.
Yeah, it was certainly a bit of time. But they seem to be rolling again, and everything looks good. And now it's just a question, will they arrive at Highway 4? At the launch pad. My god. My brain.
But you can see
Let's
here
see.
the whole how complicated it is to move one of these things, because it's like, man, one of those axles breaks or whatever, and it's and you have to stop and carefully go through all of that. It's not easy.
I mean, this is like what, a 200-300 ton machine that they're
Yeah.
transporting. It's kind of
Plus
crazy.
the weight of the stand, and all of that is probably north of 400 tons, if not more.
Yeah, if not more. It's a very heavy. It's
Super heavy,
Super
if you will.
heavy. There we go. We are also comedians.
I don't know how long I held it up because we didn't keep streaming, but I'll just say this: it broke down at like 10:57 p.m. or something, and they were still working on it at 1 in the morning, back on that day. So
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a funny day.
it went for a while. I don't know exactly how long. It was for a while.
At least this rollout now seems to. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I know. I learned. Again, if you have any questions about the 4th Starship flight deck, let us know in chat using tag at NASASpaceflight. That results in a way that we are seeing all of your questions very very nicely in a software in the back end where we can just pick out the questions and like have them in a queue, and it's nice to read. So make sure to ask it that way, and we will make sure to answer as many questions as we can as long as this booster is rolling down to the launch pad. Yeah, we started to talk about that camera and the hot staging ring, but we should probably go deeper on that a bit. What's that camera at the hot staging ring? Do we know what it actually will do? Like, is it filming the hot staging maneuver, or is it more looking at the booster? Well, what's
It's like right at it's right at one of the ship clamps. When I looked at it, you could see a little like
It's the one
trapezoid or something
that
like
they've
right.
added, right?
I think so. It's like right at a ship
Yeah.
clamp. Last time I checked. So, if you see it, if you were to, I don't know if we can see it on this side. You'd have to look at the hot stage ring. They may have added more than one, but I'm trying to think of the orientation of my head right now.
It might be visible.
It basically looks up right at the heat shield of the ship. So if you were to play it during hot stage, you'd be looking up at the ship with the exhaust plume behind it, and then you'd see the ship leave the booster with all 6 engines running and watch it go away, kind of like
Yeah.
the S1C shot. When if you go back and like watch the Apollo 11 documentary, you see the S1C shot and you see the second stage leave, and you see the S2 leave, and you see all the engines ignite, which is cool. But these will actually already be ignited.
Yeah, because one of the things that has changed for these hot staging rings is that it has not 4 clamps, but 4 pins, so to speak, right? 3 of them with clamps, the same ones that we had seen on previous hot staging rings, but it has an added pin that it doesn't have a clamp, which we believe might be related with trying to get the alignment better this time around compared to how it was on the previous full stack.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is essentially like on the left side of here. So you see this current view. Imagine the hot staging ring at the top. It will be on the left side and essentially on the other side. So we cannot see it from this point of view, but we may be able to see it once it arrives at the launch site. So just pointing that out for the people controlling cameras, just saying.
We should be able to, because the QD will be facing the tower. So if they line up with the chopsticks right away, which they have not moved. So there actually is a lift up on the chopsticks right now.
Yeah, that's the side that faced the, yeah.
I don't think they're going to lift tonight because they're working on the stick still. They're still taking scaffolding out of the center of the OLM. And they have to take the red sling adapters off of the lift point still. So if they do lift tonight, if they do lift, it'll probably be sometime tomorrow, would be my guess.
We shall see for sure. Let me ask some more questions here. How many transport stands are even available? Do we know?
2. They have a second one at Sanchez ready to go if they need it. They have a third one. As a third one is a full ring, but it's based off of the progress they've made over it in the last couple months. It's one of those projects where, everything else is done today, but we kind of have this over here to work on, so let's go work on that. One of those kind of projects, so it doesn't really get touched much because they don't need more than one booster transport stand right now. Eventually they will, but right now they don't.
Alejandro is asking, which planned or proposed NASA mission do you personally look most forward to?
That's definitely not me.
Artemis, I mean, it has to be, for me, Artemis 3.
Yeah. Landing on the moon. Yeah.
Artemis 3 for human exploration, I will say, at least in the near term, Dragonfly, it's a cool mission, robotically. And also we have Roman Telescope. There's some cool missions coming down the line that are really cool.
Get Europa Clipper this year.
Europa Clipper, yeah. Even Juice, because
Slowly.
Juice is it was launched last year, but
Yeah.
it's gonna arrive at around the same time as Europa Clipper. It's gonna be awesome. Also, Lucy, it has already launched as well, but it's gonna be doing flybys later this decade. So, a lot of flybys.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool science missions that are launched and in route, and a lot that are said to get launched. If we're just talking straight science missions, it's hard to choose one. But if we're talking overall NASA missions, it's Artemis. It's the Artemis program. Artemis 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, like if
You cannot
I mean,
beat- Yeah.
it's hard to beat moon landing, right?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
people. Like, you can't beat that.
Will they be able to perform static fires for the boosters at Massey's, or is it only the ships?
Brian,
Ships.
get it away.
All right. Only the ships. That stand is far too small for boosters. That stand is a lot like the McGregor Falcon 9 first stage test stand in a lot of ways, with the way they designed it. Which in Starship's a little more thrust than that, but it's kind of where they're at with that. 6 engines is a lot different than 33. In order to build a stand that could take 33, it'll have to be like I think it's the B1 stand, the S1C, or the Green Run stand. Forget the name of the actual stand itself. But at Stennis, you're talking something gigantic to be able to take the thrust. You basically have to build another OLM or more in order to take the thrust of that, of a booster. But it's ships only.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've talked about problems with Massey's before where a booster load would probably mean closing Highway 4, so would that even bring you something? Because, of course, the main advantage of Massey's right now is, hey, you don't have to close everything, you can test it next to it, right? But with a booster, well, you still probably have to close down Highway 4. So, it's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. This is interesting. Is there any lightning protection while on SPMTs? I believe the answer is no, but they probably very closely monitor the weather before they start a rollout.
Well, I remember one rollout where, in the distance we could see the thunderstorms and everything. I think it was Booster 9, perhaps.
It might have been.
Yeah,
It rings a bell.
yeah, because I remember it was sort of like summertime here, but they seemed to have one of these bad storms, and they tried to roll it out on time to get it out of the way, I think. Yeah.
Dual testing on both towers. I yes, but probably no, but it would be amazing.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah. They first need to build a tower. The second one. There's no second tower yet.
I cannot wait till we see 2 stacks together.
Yeah, same. It's gonna be
That'll be-
absolutely insane.
That'll be on par with the shot of the 2 shuttles. Is like we never got to see 2 Saturns at one time on both the pads at 39, LC-39. In I think if they had really pushed more and more with the Apollo program, we would have eventually gotten that, because they were pumping those Saturn V's out like crazy. But see actually, and one of those iconic shots of shuttle, I'll just mention it: STS-125 and STS-400. We even have a video on that for Hubble, made by Sawyer. So, yeah.
Yep. It's
Um,
actually, I love that video, by the way.
it's a great video.
I'm usually not that into shuttle, but I really love that video. Like I really think it's quite fascinating.
If you want to know more about Shuttle and Hubble, go watch that. Absolutely. But I can't wait till one day we see that shot with Starship. 2 stacks on the pad, ready to go.
Yep.
Like that'll be one of the craziest things ever.
One of the things that I'm really looking forward to as well is seeing a Starship full stack at 39A and Falcon Heavy on the pad as well. Like seeing, because we've seen Starship here, right? But we still haven't seen, or at least in proper terms, we still haven't seen a Falcon rocket next to a Starship rocket. And I think a lot of people don't understand how big Starship is compared to Falcon 9, because it always is very deceiving. Because you see Falcon 9, right? And it already, it's very deceiving when you see it on a stream or something like that, because it's very far away. Everything around it is about the same size. It's very, very, very big. It's only when they do like, crew flights with Crew Dragon and whatnot, when they arrive at the pad and you see that they are tiny little tiny people next to this big giant thing, especially when they have the Tesla cameras and you can see the base of the transport director and it's this big structure in front of the car. So yeah, it's really very deceiving already with Falcon 9. Now put a Falcon 9 and a Starship side by side and you'll see Falcon 9 is teeny tiny compared to Starship. It's just about the size of just the booster. Then you put the ship on top and it's about 2 times, not 2 times, but a little bit over 2 times wider than Falcon 9. It's crazy. It's crazy big. And I cannot wait to see something like that. I really hope something like that happens.
This shot I want to see, and it would take a little bit to line it up, but it would be one of the coolest things ever. It would harken back to like the 60s. Is you look down, you're basically in a helicopter and you're looking straight north on the Cape, and you see New Glenn on 36. What is it? 14 for Relativity?
Relativity is 16.
16. You see Terran R on 16. You see a Vulcan on 41. You see a Falcon 9 on 40. You see a Starship on 37 and a Starship on 39A and maybe even something on LC-49. And then a Falcon on 39A, because why not? Oh, and then top that off, put a Block 2 SLS on 39B. Just you look down and I'm forgetting some of the other Firefly as well.
There.
And
you're
it's
talking there of 2035 or something with block 2.
Yeah, but just you look down, you see all of those rockets just lined up. I hope we get a shot like that. Fingers crossed in 10 years. Fingers crossed, but who knows?
Well, we're definitely gonna see something like that, either with those rockets or some other different rockets. Definitely Starship. I think there's a good chance we're gonna see that with the Starship and most likely New Glenn as well. It seems like at least both companies, Blue Origin and SpaceX, have the the monies to keep going with that. SLS probably has a little bit lower chances because it doesn't launch as much often, to be fair. But yeah, we're bound to see a lot of rockets out on the pad at the Cape, and we're gonna be watching that on flyovers. By the way, we have a recent flyover video, so yeah, I can also plug. No, it's true. It's true. Sometimes when our folks out there at the Cape, they fly on the helicopter and whatnot. For these flyovers, they sometimes take a little detour and do that shot that you mentioned. Not from this past flyover, but there was another one previous to that from a video from D. And they made a really great video of and it showed the whole of the Cape Canaveral, and in the background it was also SLS mobile launcher and 39A as well. It was really good. I think it's available for members somewhere, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a couple of months since that one.
Let me thank some more support here, as we are here in the late night shift. David Harris becoming a Pat Rat member. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the perks. Same goes for Samantha Rayner, also becoming a Pat Rat member. And then we have another super chat from David Harris. Thank you for that support. Musical Wolves with a super chat saying, why not roll out ships and boosters Astra style using sideways? I guess there's a propulsion missing there. But let's make it the safe way. Let's not use the Astra slide for rollout. Would be kind of devastating with super heavy though. It's a bit of
Tokyo
big
Drift.
vehicle. Yeah, like the good old Tokyo Drift with booster. Then we have Zippy with a super chat saying, it's not that heavy. Cybertruck could pull it. I think no.
No. Cybertruck would probably rip its axle off before it got any sort of movement out of the booster and stand.
Probably. And then we have Tony from L2 with a $20 super chat saying, here's some gas money. We'll make sure that the folks that are in Boca right now receive that gas money, and we have
I mean,
well,
I'm gonna say it, if their cars work.
yeah, if their cars work. Watch somebody being very angry that we said that. Let's ask another question here before that happens. BQD23 saying, will they do another static fire before launch of Booster 11?
Well, we don't know, right? It's complicated to say because we really don't know whether they're gonna be doing it or not. One will assume that they don't need to do another static fire, so that's our hope. Whether that will be the case or not, it's something that we'll have to see in the next few days.
Yep. There's a lot of potential tests here that could surprise us. Because there's a lot of tests scheduled. So it's gonna be interesting. Ryan,
Yeah.
do we know if they have started the launch mount top for Pad 2? The first one took forever. I know they learned a lot, which will speed up the process. Are they already building it?
I don't know. If they are, it's not at Starbase. It could be at Hangar M, at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station.
I mean, could be at Star Factory.
In theory, it could be. The problem with that is they would have to knock down a wall to get it out. Which, to be fair, it is SpaceX, so I wouldn't put it past them. However,
I mean,
I
when
don't
did they
think
ever
it's
knock down a wall?
Okay,
Wait.
Okay. Here, let me finish this.
We're looking at
However, yes, we are looking at a wall that's probably going to get knocked down as well. But you have to remember that Star Factory they're going to want it to be clean, controlled environment for building these vehicles. And building an OLM is not conducive to a clean, controlled environment. There's a lot of rust, there's a lot of dirt, there's a lot of just... It's not stainless steel they're using regular steel. So it's not really that clean. I don't think they would do it in Star Factory. The GSE building is not big enough for it. My guess is if they build it on site at Starbase, they would have to build a temporary tent, basically, and use that. Or they just build it outside like they did the last one. Like they did the first one. But I don't think they want to build that kind of stuff outside anymore. That's, I think that's a big no for them now these days. They want to keep everything clean as possible. But as far as we know, they haven't started it.
We can now see Booster 11 on launch site pet cameras, which where you can now see it slowly approaching. But you can also see it's like, there it is, look at that. It's actually not slowly approaching, it's very much there. Because
Maybe here
the
we can
next,
see that. Oh, go ahead.
it's just one more corner. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe here we can see that camera on the hot staging ring.
Oh yeah.
From
that
this
could be.
side, it will be on the right hand side and on the front, so it will be visible because it will be on our side, so to speak.
Yep, and there it is. There's the hot staging ring.
Oh, there
I
you can see it.
think, yeah, on
And
the right side, right?
little piece
It's
right there.
still a
whether
little bit
that's-
far away, but yeah, you can kind of see it there.
whether
That
that's
thing
a-
that sticks out.
Yeah, whether it's a camera or something else. Could be like a sensor too.
I mean,
It's
isn't
new.
a camera basically just an optical sensor?
That's true.
Ho ho ho.
That's true. He isn't wrong.
I'm just trying to be funny. But hey, the booster is now on the final stretch here on Highway 4, and is basically kind of moving into parallel next to the launch site, which is good. I like that news for the SpaceX workers who are soon to be done with this rollout, and also for our sleep schedule. But they're really moving fast. Like that one tire didn't seem to stop them.
Watch them retract the QD arm now.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting now. What are they going to do with Mechazilla?
Are they gonna lift tonight? Are they gonna be waiting for tomorrow? It still has the crane load points though. You can see there on the on the lifting points there on the booster on each side. There's like a little thing that sticks down from it. That it's sort of reddish in color. That is the things that they put there to be able to lift the booster with a with a crane. When you have the load spreader bar and all of that, and you need to lift that, they have that for protection. They need to remove that before they can lift it with the chopsticks. So that's one thing that at least needs to be done before the chopstick lift happens. But that can be done fairly quickly, to be fair. It's not like a huge amount of work. They did that with Booster 10.
Looks like that crane came down, so they might have all that scaffolding out of the center now, and there's no more lift up around the chopsticks, so we'll see. See what they do.
Yep.
The booster is now passing by a hopper, I think.
Checking its
In the
credentials.
papers.
Yep. Is it allowed to pass?
Yep. Quick paper check. There it is.
Now it has a
Operated
fancy
to,
new weather station.
Yeah, they took it off of suborbital tank farm.
They will use will they use the first or second gate?
What do you mean?
Like where exactly will they enter this area?
Oh, the gate
Here,
we're
right?
looking at. The gate we're looking
Yeah,
at right
right.
here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We
The other
can't
one
go
has the
anywhere else.
SpaceX sign.
Yeah, and then the other entrance, kind of entrance, goes to the tank farm, so they can't really go there either. If they wanted to
So
go
we-
over a bunch of dirt, they could go along the new access road they just built, but I don't think they want to do that.
But here you can see it arriving.
And the messed up wheel, they just bypassed.
Yep.
And I'm guessing the booster is messing with our connection.
Yeah, the booster is right now moving in front of the antenna.
Just a little hiccup.
It's looking good. But yeah, there's the tire. There's that one lazy tire. And slowly but surely entering here the finish line. Let me get
We
some more
maybe look up
questions here.
to the booster.
I think Kevin's interested about that tire.
Oh, we go up.
Gotta take the opportunity that we have the booster right here.
Yeah. Hopper's peppered skin in the back.
Look at
there.
Always crazy how these machines look. And there it is turning. In a bit. I saw it turning before it turned. That was my wishful thinking. Oh,
Hang
but
on.
it's slowing down.
Now it does the same thing that it did at the
Should back
to
in.
exit the road. That's
Yeah,
gonna be doing
now-
the same to enter the launch site.
We'll basically drive a bit past and then
Back
do
in.
like the reverse.
Yep.
Beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
There we go. Well, not yet there. Not yet the right position.
Now starts to move to the side. This is Starbase drifting.
You can see how enormous these boosters are on the shot. There we go. You can see how the tires are like oriented in different directions, which is still insanely to see. And there
So
we go.
crazy. It's going sideways.
Yep, it's going sideways.
It's like
Hopefully
a crab
this is
walk.
the only time it goes sideways. And off it goes.
And we are reversing into the launch site. Very nice. Very careful now, because that opening is not that. Let's just say they don't have that much of wiggle room left and right.
No, not since they put those vaporizers there. My guess is they're going to make that gate bigger at some point. Like move the guard shack down a little bit, because with all those tanks added and vaporizers and everything, they didn't leave themselves a lot of room for stuff.
Absolutely not. I'm seeing ideas about shooting the booster out of a cannon onto the OLM. Interesting.
What kind of cannon would you need to do that? Man. I don't even know.
And it's almost midnight. I'm surprised the crickets are still awake.
Oh, they're always awake.
You would
It
need
feels
like
like.
you would need like a Mac gun to put the booster to shoot the booster out of, like a
I feel like-
magnetic acceleration cannon from like Halo.
I feel like sometimes we really need like a full-on ASMR series from Starbase. It's like 7 a.m. at Bocas and then like noon, where you hear lunch sounds, and it would be amazing.
I'm down. Let's do it. Kevin.
Would love to do it. But Kevin will say, "Where's the script?"
He
don't need a
tends to be like that.
You don't need a script if it's just ASMR. It's just you're just recording sounds. You don't need a script.
Well, kind of depends.
Really.
Well, you need a plan, right? And
I
to say something
plan,
to
like-
ASMR.
Story.
I've trained Alex well.
Yeah, like you're proud right now, right?
I'm really proud.
Ah,
That's Alex's sigh of defeat.
I can't. All I'm thinking right now is that we have like 1,000 different videos we're trying to make. Meanwhile, SpaceX says, "Hey, here's 20 road closures." So I just don't know I'm gonna do everything. Even Twist, like we have that Thursday MSIB with the potential for a wet dress and everything. That's gonna be fun. Also, I can
we
already
see the
tell
camera
you all.
here?
What? Oh
Can we
yeah,
see the camera?
it's there.
Yeah.
Camera.
It's that
said-
thing.
Yeah, we can see the bulb or little thing that sticks out on the. hot
Yeah,
sticker.
the top. So to describe it a little bit better, on the right-hand side, you can see those grid fins. Those two grid fins. You can see the top one. So if you look to the left on the hot staging ring, there's like a white thing that's sticking out. That's the thing that we were referring to when talking about a potential camera right there. So in that case, instead of looking down, it will be looking up. So far, we haven't seen or at least I haven't seen any more close-up shot of that, other than a picture that Mary took a while ago with that hot staging ring, and it did seem like it had some kind of protection cap or something like that. I don't know. It seemed weird, that's for sure.
That could be if it's not a camera. We're assuming it's a camera. If it's not a camera, it could be like a sensor for alignment for stacking.
That can also be true. Yeah,
Could see.
there's
that.
a lot of potential things that could
Yeah.
be.
So far, the QD and chopsticks have not moved.
Yeah, I don't.
So-
I think it's gonna get parked next to the pad, and that'll be that at this rate.
That doesn't look like a lift is imminent.
I think they're disconnect. Speaking of the other roll tonight, but I think they're disconnecting 31 from the crane? Question mark. Yeah, they are. Okay.
What progress have we seen so far on the second tower foundation? How long until we expect to see the first section stacked?
Well, we've seen pilings going in, but they seem they look too small to be either OLM or tower pilings. They're probably pilings for tank farm or other stuff. So I don't know. It'll be relatively obvious when we see like the OLM and tower pilings. They're going to be pretty big pilings that'll go in. So those will be somewhat obvious when they start doing those. But right now they aren't. So your guess is as good as ours when they're actually going to start putting that together and stacking the tower. It could be by the fall, but who knows?
Alex, do you think they will give us interstage views like with Falcon 9 using this?
Well, I don't really know, to be fair. We do know that they do have cameras inside of the engine bay and everything, but we really haven't seen anything from, like, we saw on Flight 1, but we didn't see anything from Flight 2 and Flight 3 from inside of the interstage. Although, to be fair, those cameras were on the top of the forward dome, not on the actual hot staging ring. But there's probably some cameras there, I bet, to be able to look at there. And also, they probably have on the ship engine section as well. They have many cameras. We'll see what they can, not only what they are, supposed to show, but also what they can show. Maybe some things they don't want to show because there's some stuff that they don't want to show. was a mouthful, my answer, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that answer. When figuring out when IFT-4 launch, don't forget they can't close the roads over Memorial Day weekend. That's a good point. There's a block period at the end of May where they cannot properly launch. So yeah, that's also a factor.
Like, technically, they can't go on the 24th. That's considered the weekend, especially for Memorial Day weekend. Usually, what the Friday is considered, so they probably wouldn't even be able to go to the 24th. And at this rate, 24th is 2 weeks away, exactly 2 weeks away. And they don't have a mishap investigation concluded yet, so yeah, they're not going by then.
Yeah. Let's see here. Searching for a few more questions. At the end of booster flight during IFT3, it had its oscillating. Is that a software fix, or did they add tank buffers or anything? We don't know at this point yet what SpaceX actually implemented as root cause fixes to IFT4 versus IFT3. That would be part of a mishap investigation.
Yeah, there's a lot
Basically, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can keep going, Adrian, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. There's a lot of speculation on what happened with 10 at the end there. It could have been a grid fin failure. It could have been just grid fin control issues. It could have been software. Basically, it could have been that it hit some really, really, really bad crosswinds, because there were some bad crosswinds that morning. So it hit a layer of air that had a really bad crosswind, and it just threw it off completely, and the grid fins couldn't recover. There's a lot of different things that could have caused that, and we won't really know until the mishap investigation comes out and says what caused it and what the solutions are. But my guess if it's software, it'll be like better modeling of grid fin aerodynamics or whatever they call it. I don't know. It'll be something along those lines is what you'll get. But
Yep.
Yeah. We really don't know. And as you mentioned, once they complete the mishap report investigation and all of that, just for reference, when we had the one for Flight 2 ahead of Flight 3, that happened on February 26, which was essentially the week before the wet dress rehearsal and about 3 weeks before the launch. So more or less, if they're doing now a wet dress rehearsal, they're probably maybe completing that mishap investigation. We'll see. You know, it not always has to be the same timeline for all launches, especially if they try to do something different. I believe at one point an FAA official said that SpaceX wanted to do new things, in quotes, new things on this flight, on Flight 4. So we'll see what they want to do that they haven't done before. Or maybe new things refers to, trying to license more launches, for example, or something like that. In which case they probably need a few more paperwork, but on the other hand, you get more licenses, more launches, so.
Why so negative about May launch? I think we are not negative, we are just over the time you start to get a very realistic feeling for these timelines, and it's most of the time not as fast as people want it to be. Is that properly worded here? Also, it's just realistic, right? There's still a significant amount of paperwork missing for Flight 4.
It's being realistic. Because I mean, for a while there, we were thinking a May launch, because it's like, oh yeah, the vehicles could be ready, and we haven't heard anything yet, so we're just kind of waiting. But we're kind of at the point where May 10th, or almost May 11th. We're almost halfway through the month right now, and there's no word on if the FAA even has the mishap investigations. Even if they did have the investigation, they still take a week or two to go through it, and they still take it then another week or so or more to then approve any launch license, depending on whatever else needs to be done, which then at that point puts you dead end of May, early June at that point. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
And even paperwork aside, we were talking before how Ship 29, I'm mostly sure we have some sort of view of that. If you want to switch it, Kevin, you're free to do that. But on Mary, there we go. It still has some tiles and everything that needs to be worked on. There's some. Let's say that there's still a lot to go through with that ship. It still needs a lot of work, and it seems like it's not going to be that straightforward. It's not going to be a week or 2 weeks. And this whole week that it's coming up, if it's doing the wet dress rehearsal, that's time that they're not going to be able to work on that heat shield. So just think about that it still needs more work, and this upcoming week they're probably not going to be able to do that work because they're going to be doing that wet dress and full stack testing and whatnot. So that is something that will take away some of that time for that work. And it May chances of a flight in May are not zero, but they're low in my opinion.
They're very low,
Yeah, very low. And speaking of 29 here, the heat shield does look nice, but when it rolled out, you could read the writing on a lot of things. It looks like they still got some ones to replace, some work to do on it, and it takes time with this kind of stuff. SpaceX is still learning how to do these heat shields. The hope is they have a little bit of a better application method with the adhesive on version 2. The biggest problem they've run into is they're doing the adhesive tiling without really prepping the area better at first. So, like, when you're doing adhesive, you want to clean or rough up the area pretty well. Like, if you remember when they originally started a couple weeks back doing Ship 29, they took all the the tip of the nose cone tiles off, and then they roughed up the metal. And then they cleaned it, and then they put the adhesive tiles back on so that it would stick better. That's kind of the issue they're running into with some of the adhesive tiles. They're just not sticking as well because they're coming off with the suction cup method. So they're still figuring things out and going tile by tile and testing it all and then cleaning it, replacing it. It takes time. And you can have a lot of manpower to do it, but it's also just long, tedious work. And, if it delays it, it delays it. It is what it is.
And trust me, I'm not trying to be negative when I say these things. It's just, the things that we see, all of the stuff based on previous experience. I'm not trying to be negative. Actually, I would love for this thing to have launched already like 2 or 3 more times in the time since Flight 3. Because I really have some serious withdrawal syndrome here, right? But it's it's a matter of fact that when we try to be here and commentate and whatnot, I really need to be a little more realistic than my desires, my wishes. And so just like I wished this rollout had probably ended up a little bit earlier, but it looks like Booster 11 has already stopped there next to the OLM.
Yeah, remember when we said at the beginning of the rollout, they usually complete these in like 40 to 50 minutes. I mean, it was more like 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Ran into some issues, did some troubleshooting, got it done, got the booster there.
Yeah. We got some late night tire changes. So that's nice. But overall, it looks like Booster 11 arrived at the launch site here. And it looks like they're now completing this rollout. And they're not going directly for lift. So Booster 11 will probably be stored here a bit. And with that, I want to start to thank some people here as we are wrapping up this coverage and throwing you all over to Starbase Live. Starting with Alex. Alex, thanks for being with us here tonight.
It's always a pleasure, and hopefully we'll get to see those 33 Raptor engines, even if you know, if they are in their booties or whatever they're called. But yeah, just wait and see what happens with this, and hopefully a fully frosty Starship stack soon.
Absolutely, and I also want to thank Ryan Weber for sharing wonderful infrastructure and Starship insight tonight.
That's a pleasure as always, Adrian. Always fun to come on here, talk to you guys, and watch Starbase, as always.
Absolutely, and behind the scenes we had Kevin Michael Reed producing and making sure everything looks good. I think also assisted by Jay, and I think SPL operator Tom also helped tracking things, if I'm not mistaken. And we also had Sean out there, who's also taking footage from this. So just as a quick overview of who made all of this tonight happen. Thanks for watching. It was really nice to have quite some interactions for a late night stream. So thanks everybody for being with us tonight. My name is Adrian Bayer. I was your host for tonight. And with that, we will end today's coverage, throw you also Starbase, but we will be back for more Starbase action in the coming days. As we said before, lots of road closures to come. Roll the intro.
And here we go. We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Rolling up. Roger, Atlantic.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Flighting downside FD off. Bring in FD off. Off. It's orange! 145! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Décollage.
What is it? Put that in the big bag, you know.
343 unfolds to go. Indeed. We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
This methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You read? Sure. We don't need any more of these.